Ladies and gentlemen, we're absolutely delighted that we have an excellent sponsor back sponsoring the podcast. It is Phoenix Energy, our friends at Phoenix Energy. We are so grateful to you. Phoenix Energy, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, own the gas distribution network from Larne to Newcastle. Do you know how many homes they fuel in Northern Ireland? Over 250,000 homes. Phoenix Energy doing great work, and they've got a scheme called Fueling the Future. Oh, the Phoenix Energy. I know I've said this before, but I am actually genuinely thinking of getting gas.
Yep.
Because it's far more efficient. You have gas?
I have gas.
You prefer the gas? You're with Phoenix, yeah?
Yeah, they're great. Really reasonable, heat the house really well, and it's instant. Love cooking on it. Cooking with gas is the best. That's what I call it. Cooking with gas. It's the best way to cook by miles. So, brilliant. But apparently they're working on something very exciting, which is to produce biomethane gas, which is designed to reduce the carbon footprint because they're going to recycle waste from cows and other animals. Thankfully, not us, but so that should be fun.
Biomethane, yes.
Yes, this is where you don't know what you're talking about.
No, tell us all about biomethane, Damon, in intricate detail, please.
Let's have a chemical breakdown.
It's something to do with cow farts?
It's basically, it's carbon. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Gas from cows.
And that's pretty good as well, because there's a lot of issue, as we know, with like things like Loughney about animal waste getting into the water courses. So it's actually good. They're going to use this stuff to power energy, which is all to the good.
And they're going to fuel thousands of homes and businesses using renewable energy. People of our age going, I'm worried about that. I'm genuinely worried about that. I think we'll be all right, but our children and our children's children will go,
so
why do you wreck the world? Well, I'm sorry. We're doing our best. Phoenix are doing their bit as well to help reduce our carbon footprint and use renewable energy. So Phoenix Energy, for more information on Phoenix Energy, on their work on fueling the future, I do like that, visit phoenixenergyni.com. That's phoenixenergyni.com and explore their pathway to decarbonisation. You can also find them on social media by searching Phoenix Energy NI. Phoenix Energy NI. Thank you for your sponsorship, our friends at Phoenix Energy. Hello and welcome to the 40th episode of the Give My Head podcast. The 40th episode, can you believe it? I'm Tim McGarry, my comedy colleagues are
Michael McDougal
and Damon Quinn.
We're delighted to say, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest who we'll get to in a second because we need to plug a few things. We need to plug the fact that Perforated Ulster, our Radio Ulster sketch show, is still available on BBC Sounds. Go and listen to some of the old episodes. Long and the short of it, the history programme where me and David Hume discuss and debate Irish history and then agree that I'm right. It's still on. 4 episodes are on the BBC iPlayer. Give My Head Peace. There's a Christmas episode coming, and we have loads of old episodes are on the BBC iPlayer. So listen to you can watch lots of old episodes and look forward to a Christmas episode. And we're delighted to say, ladies and gentlemen, that Give My Head podcast is going live. We're doing a live show, yes, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the Mandela Hall. I keep calling it theatre. Mandela Hall at Queen's University on Sunday, the 12th of October. A live show. There'll be special guests. There'll be a bit of stand-up comedy. We're going to be taking a few old episodes of Give My Head Peace and doing readings. We'll be doing extracts. We'll read a couple of episodes. We'll get some of the old the cast together. So please get your tickets now for Give My Head Peace Live, our first ever live broadcast on Sunday the 12th of October. Get your tickets now. Leanne, are you going to get your tickets to come and see Give My Head Peace?
I assumed I'd get a guest list at this stage.
Leanne, you don't know. I thought you knew us. I thought you knew what we were like.
No, well, I'm starting to learn. I'm learning fast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're absolutely delighted to have one of the finest comedians coming up in Northern Ireland, who does loads of gigs all around Northern Ireland, who is a well-known person on the interweb, has a fantastic comedy club down in Newry called Panic Station, which, believe it or not, I have never played. Why have I not been invited down to your comedy club?
You're much too expensive.
He's not getting on the guest list.
He's absolutely not getting on the guest list. Actually, I've got
much too expensive.
Much too expensive. Yeah, we couldn't afford your rider. Let alone to actually pay you.
I hear it's a fantastic wee club. I hear very nice things. You're putting your pure.
I forgot. I'm not in Pure Newry. I'm in Panic Station today.
Oh right, sorry, Panic Station. Because last time I saw you, had your Pure Newry badge on.
Yeah, I love a bit of merch.
You are, yeah. You are Newry's finest comedian. You and
I mean, well, myself and Darren, neither of us being from Newry.
Yeah.
Incidentally, we're both.
You're not from Newry?
I'm not actually from Newry. I'm not.
You're not?
No, I am. I hate to use this term, but I'm a South Armagh person.
Oh, right.
You're
No. Gay. But thank you. No farming, no general Catholicism. Pretty bad culture all round, which is probably why I've adopted Newry as a hometown.
Right, okay, so you're not a suave city slicker. You're from your proper culture, are you?
Well, see, what is a proper culture?
Well,
see, you boys think that
anybody
anything
outside the conurbation
Yeah,
of Belfast.
exactly.
To be honest with you. In fact, even if you lived in Newry, the city
Yeah.
of Newry.
No, come on.
You-
Us in Lisburn, we've had
Yeah,
our moment in the sun.
they've-
We're enjoying it.
They're giving them away now. Bucking Bangor's a city, for feck's sake.
True.
What
Well,
have they got? A picking pool and
A boarded up city.
a boarded up,
Yeah.
boarded
I
up.
think most cities are boarded up
Yeah,
now. Well,
yeah.
ours is nicer. So neither Darren or I are
You're
from
actually
Newry.
not from Newry. And listen, I don't want to be rude, but you came bearing gifts, and we haven't
did.
seen the gift. You just
Oh, right,
you're
okay.
keeping
Do you want
those
me
for the
to-
end. Well, I did like to see.
They
you
were
I just want to say.
I did feel like I was coming into the wake because everybody shook hands with me and I just handed over some
Well-
baked goods.
I,
I should have. If I'd have knew, I would have took a mask card with me.
Sorry for your
Or
trouble.
is it a sympathy card down
Sorry
here? I'm
for
not
your
sure.
trouble. No. It's just that nobody else has brought.
See,
Wow.
You see,
country people do this.
country people are very generous. Oh, this is a biscuit,
You can't go with one arm as long as the other.
toffee cake, and iced Madeira buns.
I would say that they are the finest iced Madeira bun in the north.
Right, these are from Davis Home Bakery. All right, is this in Newry?
No, they are actually in South Armagh. They are raw buns.
You're right.
They are raw buns.
These are
Yeah.
Republican buns.
Absolutely, the boys, whenever they were training in the fields,
All
that's
right,
all,
this
that's
is
all
what,
they had.
This is what kept the lads going
That's
during
exactly
30
right.
years of conflict.
30? Goodness.
Well, it's over, isn't it?
Is it? It was a,
Yeah.
It is over.
It is
It was a
over.
draw.
Even in South Armagh.
yeah, we can all break bread
Yeah,
now.
it was-
Protestants are allowed to eat these now.
It was a
And,
score draw after extra time. Yeah, these are clearly homemade, aren't they?
oh, they are.
They're very.
Hence the term home bakery. Not to be pedantic.
You're a sorry bitch.
Absolutely.
Fucking hell, you just
I
come
am.
on and you just.
I'm very bitter.
Are you bitter?
We're
Is
a
that-
bitter. We're a bitter people.
You're a bitter people. Don't
Yeah.
be bitter. It's all right.
Okay.
Relax. It's
You want to
okay.
fucking eat that? Or am I allowed to swear on
You
this?
are,
allowed to
you're allowed to swear. You're a weird woman. You wouldn't even give me a hug when I came
I can't
in.
do it. I can't do
Why
it.
could you not give
It's
me
the
a hug?
intimacy.
You don't like intimacy.
No, it's just if there's a time and there's a time and a place. If I felt you needed a hug, I would hug you so hard and so tight it would put all
Okay.
your broken pieces
What
back together.
circumstances do you think I would need a hug?
Grief, some sort of crisis of conscience.
Well,
Maybe diminishing faith. I don't know. A small inconvenience, anything that would activate you emotionally. But a frivolous hug, no.
you don't like a frivolous, but the hugs are good for you. Hugs make you feel better. Both parties get something out of it. You know.
I'm staying out of this.
Yeah, you're my kind of guy. I can actually feel everything tensing up.
I can honestly say I've never been hugged by the guys ever.
Really?
Well,
Yeah, you've never hugged me. No, you never hugged me.
Come on, we'll put that right. Come on, come, big lad. Come on. I have hugged you. You're a liar.
Yeah.
I have hugged
See, that's
you.
not a proper hug.
No, it's not right. That's a blokey. It's a blokey hug, isn't it?
The distance between the groins. I mean,
Well, do you think there was a distance maintained there, deliberately, or what do you think
would
was
you be
going
comfortable
on?
pressing against my groin? These boys how to do it?
Well,
No? Okay, maybe not. It's a first time meet, isn't it?
Maybe not on camera.
Yeah, well, maybe not. Maybe not.
Good bum, by the way.
Yeah, they're
that's
very
what
good, aren't
that's
they? Yeah,
Very good bum.
good. I'm glad you approve.
I'm having a bad morning. You won't give me a hug, and then give me a tea with me, Shane Todd, in mug.
Yeah, I know. What's going on?
Okay, you said I could take him in a fight, didn't you?
Absolutely.
You think I could take him in a
Yeah,
fight?
yeah.
Yeah.
Although, in fairness, I did see a photograph of young Todd with no Gansey on there one day.
Down.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you what, he's got some chassis on him.
Really?
He does. He's well toned. Like he's more like Paddy the Body than actually just facially. He's got a bit of a washboard
Yes.
going on there.
I think
We've got
Has he
60-year-old
got a-
chassis.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
he probably has a personal trainer or something, does he? Or
Do you know what? Maybe, but
Right, so-
fair play to him.
Yeah.
Look
Did
well.
you not say though that you were invited
could
to do the
Well,
celebrity box?
they did the celebrity, the comedy, the comedians boxing thing. What are you laughing at?
Do you have a death wish? Like,
I could just imagine visiting you in
I
hospital.
could take any of them out. any of them out. I'm very nifty on my
Could
feet.
you?
I'm a southpaw.
Yeah,
Float like a butterfly, sting like
yeah.
a bee.
it's
Apparently,
haymaker.
they all took it very seriously, didn't they? They all think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Boxing isn't. I mean, I like
No.
watching boxing, but it's not good for you. I don't like being hit.
Did you watch Mr. Kakashi at the weekend?
I didn't know.
I did.
Did he win?
He did win. Yes, he did in triumphant style as well. I was delighted to see it. He's a great guy. Really good
You
guy.
go. I took him on your job. I'm having a bum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so-
turn
so
away
you-
there.
you eat
He's
away.
great. Gee whiz.
No. You don't do hugs.
Don't do hugs.
And you have Catholic guilt. You were saying, or no?
Don't we all?
No.
Even Protestants have it.
Probably not him.
No.
Right, okay.
No.
No, but I mean, it seeps into everything. There's an osmosis there.
Presbyterians don't do guilt, do you?
No, well.
Which is strange. Like you've a lot to be guilty about. Presbyterian.
Yeah. It's
We're-
true. No, it's kind of, there's... I don't know.
You weren't Presbyterian.
No, not really. No, there was nothing really. I was never baptized, right? So,
Sorry, that is a quality bump. Thank you very much.
never baptized. So,
You were nominally of the Protestant community.
no, well, I went to the primary school was probably overwhelmingly Protestant, and the high school
Yes.
was, but I never actually.
But you didn't get much religion
Never
in
in
your
church.
family. Like I
No,
did.
and but the only thing was I wanted to play football. And the only way you could play football in secondary school, because I went to school didn't play football, was join the BB, and that was a bloody nightmare. That was a bloody nightmare.
That's the boys' brigade.
Oh,
I was
boys
just about
brigade.
to say.
Yeah,
Boys brigade.
You didn't have them in South Armagh.
Right, okay.
It's guaranteed.
Well, you did. They were kind of like
really-
the rap.
Just slightly different.
You had brigades, but not the boys' brigade.
I'll tell you what.
Plenty
the
of
boys-
brigades.
The
Right.
boys'
Yeah.
brigade, all they did, well, this particular boys' brigade I went to, was march.
Right.
We marched.
Okay.
Every day we marched. You either played the drum or you marched. And we counter march. Like, all these maneuvers I know that are completely militaristic.
Counter march.
Counter march. It's called the Laconian. This is very boring. But anyway, so basically, most people see.
But go ahead anyway.
I'm gonna, right, so there's a
Don't
group,
let that stop
so
you,
there's a
Michael.
group of guys like marching like that, right? If you march like that, okay,
Right,
and if you want to turn around, it's really slow for everybody to turn around because you've got to pivot and like that.
Right.
So what the Spartans realized that if you just went, everybody went like that. And came round, you see, every turn at the same time.
The Spartans.
Spartans invented that.
See.
So we were taught all this in
See this
BB.
podcast, it's educational.
It really is, and that's the
Ancient
sexiest
history.
thing I've
That's
ever
a
seen
like-
done with a cake.
The Laconian counter march.
The Laconian
counter march, let me tell you.
Right, okay.
Anyway. No, I don't know why I went there.
Thanks for that.
What's this got to do with being a prod?
Well, because BB. Oh yes, because if you're in the boys' brigade, it's marching and Bible studies.
All right.
At the same time.
Could be actually sometimes.
And was that
any groin interaction?
And there was actually very little ground interaction.
that's more of a Catholic thing.
Yeah, but then So and then the football kind of dried up, so I left. So we couldn't get a team together.
Right, I see.
So
Because you're too busy marching.
Too busy. I'm knackered.
So you still have Catholic guilt, do you? What are you guilty?
Are we just everything? Existence.
Existence.
That that you're you're an encumbrance on the earth and the people around you.
Well, this is the thing. What is Catholic guilt? You see, I've never. People say we've got a Catholic guilt, but what is it?
Just feel guilty about it.
Yeah, I think it's the whole
Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't
Yeah,
have
we're
said
all
that.
sinners, and you shouldn't be
Yeah.
doing that. You shouldn't think that. You
Yeah.
shouldn't feel that.
From the start.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
you go into a room and you feel guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you enjoy anything, you feel guilty.
And if you
Oh, no,
enjoyed
no,
it.
you enjoy that's
Really?
Yes.
Seriously,
Yeah.
you honestly, like if you went on holiday, but there's be a
all
bit of
pleasure.
guilt.
Oh, all pleasure, yeah. It's kind of,
Yeah.
there's
Oh, I
something-
shouldn't
there's something
know.
not right.
Yeah.
Something not right about having fun, sure isn't it?
yeah, something. Yeah. Shouldn't be getting ideas above my station here and going to pontins. Look at all the wee people that can't go. Here I am. Who do I think I am?
So how did you get started in this nonsense? Yeah, you did all those videos online stuff, taking the...
Yeah.
Everybody's online these days, aren't they?
Yeah.
All the young people, they're online.
Yeah, they're on the phones.
They're on their phones.
Yeah, and that's you get that now actually because I've been knocking about Newry and you'll meet like an older person and they'll say I'll be watching you on the
careful
phone. I'm much older.
Yeah.
I'll be watching you on the phone. You'll be talking. And they're like, all right, okay.
It's funny that because it's changed so much because the traditional way was you went to Edinburgh and you did your show and you got discovered and you got offered a BBC show or something
Yeah,
like that. Or we thought, in our case, we actually played Newry. We were discovered in
Oh,
Newry.
that's right.
Really?
We were discovered in Newry, yes.
So was Ebola.
In Newry Arts Centre. we were playing to an audience of
forgot
eight people, two of whom were BBC producers.
In the Arts Centre.
Who then offered us a TV show.
That's class.
Yeah, Newry Arts Centre, yeah.
So what-
And the reason we had 8 people in the audience was because Marty Reid, Uncle Andy, otherwise known as Uncle Andy, In those days, you flag posted, you had your posters and you put them all around the town and you go, hold the wall gang on Newry, Art Centre tonight. But Marty Reid couldn't be bothered. He threw all the posters into Newry Canal and went to the pub.
Sure.
and then we're wondering, like, why is there nobody here? Nobody's heard of the show. And 8 people in the audience.
No,
2 of them.
It was actually worse than that because we went down to the Newry Arts Centre and there was a huge crowd milling about outside, and we thought, this is going to be good. Turns out they were all going to Newry Town Hall to see Jesus Christ Superstar. And then they suddenly disappeared and we went, oh, there's nobody left.
And you just sloped into
There were 8 people, 3 of whom were mates of mine who came down in the car with me from Belfast.
The poor man's Town
and there
Hall.
were three people, sort of civilians, who obviously couldn't get tickets.
So what year was that?
1989.
89.
About 89, yes, because they were doing, that was
We were
when
doing
the
a
show
sketch
came
show.
out. There was a new TV show that BBC was doing, it was quite brave at the time, called The Show.
Okay.
But it was like a live show where they did risque things and got comedians on for the first time and went a bit, political, with the satire and all. And we were there to write the satire stuff.
Right, okay.
But that was from being discovered in Newry Arts Centre. But that's the way it happened then.
Right.
Somebody went and seen your show and then you got your way into television, but you didn't even have to do that.
No, but I mean,
You had to do your own video show.
yeah, but there was never an agenda. I owned a cafe, like cafe, bistro, whatever you want to call it, and because obviously, traditional, as you say, traditional media has changed. Traditional media is obsolete now almost.
Yeah.
And this new thing came along where you had social media and you had people had the Newry Reporter and had the Newry Democrat in their pocket, and you didn't have to pay £1,000 for a full page ad, to pimp something out, and you could do it instantly and you could do all these things. So that's something that I, as a trying to get a business off the ground was great. You're like, right, happy days, so I'll lean into this more. So there was never an agenda to be like, I want to be a comedian, I want to be a stand-up comedian, this is how I'm going to do it. There was never that, Machiavelli, aspect to it. It was just like, right, will you come in here and buy a cheese and ham toastie off me, please? Because HMRC are knocking my door. And that's how it started. So the videos and stuff, I ended up sort of tethering that to my personality, which was being a bit lippy and being a bit, chatting away or whatever. And there was a following then came from that. And then that's how it sort of snowballed then. So it became less about the toasties and more about me just being boisterous.
Slapping about Newry.
When you ran your wee cafe, was it fun? Did people come to laugh? Were you funny? Were you entertaining when they came?
I think that there was a perception of me as being an entertainer because of the videos. Because Facebook Live came along in like 2016 or something like that, 2015, 2016. And if you took a photograph of those buns and put them up on Facebook, they'd maybe get, 50 likes. Whereas if you took a Facebook Live video of them, you'd get 500 likes because they were really pushing that as a concept or as a whatever. So I sort of latched onto that and I was like, and I got a wee bit addicted to the metrics of it all. So then I'd just be just chatting, blah, blah, blah. And people were like, oh, that's funny, or, that's whatever. And, and they started to like that, which, you did get a wee Brucey bonus there of people coming into the cafe because they're like, where is this woman talking from? And, oh, right, that's a cafe. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm going to go in there. And you would get a wee bang of custom out of that. But then also you had people coming in who wanted to see a comedy show, essentially. So the two or 3 minutes.
A coffee and then go, away you go, Lianne. Start doing it.
Yeah, because I actually had a guy in one morning and he came in at like 9 o'clock and he got a fry and I served him, like, as mouthy as I am, I'm a very good, demure, good waitress, He got him his menu and got him sorted and blah, blah, blah. Thank you, sir. And blah, 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 and took his money and he says to me, I come in here because I thought you were a bit of crack. And he says, you know what it is? He says, you're a shite crack. And he walked out. And I was like, I've coleslaw to make here, mate, So, I suppose that, but that was the perception some people had, and that's how it went.
And then the comedy club came off the back of that, wasn't it?
The comedy
night that it was.
Yeah, well, Darren and I have.
Darren Matthews.
Darren Matthews, yeah, Darren Matthews, comedian on Instagram. And he's also a ginger person. So we always make that wee joke that if he's MCing or I'm MCing and we bring each other on, I say I'm Darren after the transition. So he was running gigs, and Darren, to be fair to him, has always been trying to pimp out Newry, and bring new stuff in. And whether that was because he's a drummer and he played in bands and stuff, and he would do gigs, like large gigs, sell tickets, do all that stuff. Then he got into the comedy as well, and he had a gig running in a big venue in the town, and for whatever reason, the gig had to be pulled due to low sales. So on a Thursday, and the gig was on a Saturday. Right. So he sort of came to me and he was like, you know, I've got Mickey Bartlett and Dave Elliott here, you know, oh, this is dreadful. And I was like, well, if you're bait, you can come into my wee shade cafe. And he was like, So we did that, and again did a Facebook Live about it, which people were like, oh right, God, oh I might go to that. So there was 40 people there on the first night, which was great, and they were all crammed in, you know, but they loved it, and plus we let them take their own alcohol in. We'll let them take a carry.
That always helps.
That absolutely helped. Yeah. And then we decided then, do you know what, let's do this next month, and then it rolled on until COVID, and then obviously that put the caution things, and we came back again then whenever it was appropriate to come back, and every month we sold out.
Brilliant.
So we changed things around a wee bit. So 50, you could have put 50 in, and it was nice and tight. Let people take their own drink, and there was just a really good vibe, and everybody was so supportive, which was a big thing. Yeah. So the guys loved coming down. Everybody loved coming down, Tim. Anybody that was asked to come down loved it.
I'm trying to think what gigs I did.
Shane, Mickey, Kieran.
I wasn't asked.
A boy Murphy. What do you call
Colin Murphy.
Aye, that boy. He was down 2 or 3 times. So, you know.
All right, so you're saying I have to do a gig in the Panic Station, yeah?
Well, you're not going to because it's closed now. You've missed that boat.
What do you mean, it's closed completely?
My cafe is closed and has been for the last year, so we took the Panic Station on the road.
Oh, right.
The World Tour of Newry.
Right, okay.
Didn't do the Arts Centre, though.
No. Didn't do the Arts Centre?
No. It's hallowed ground now, because you ran it.
I've done the hotel a few times for corporate gigs.
Yeah.
There's some bar used to have one, I can't remember, a long time ago.
Probably the bank.
The bank.
The bank.
Yeah.
Is the tall man still there?
The tall man underwent a few different incarnations, but to all intents and purposes, still there. It's now called the Phoenix.
Oh, right. No, I liked it when it was the tall man.
Were you in the tall man?
Oh, was I back in the day? Yeah.
Yeah, I was in it too when I wasn't the age, to be honest. But it was great. It was great.
It was a great week.
Yeah.
So you started doing these gigs yourself and then went up on stage. I mean, you hadn't done it before. You just did it on the basis of the videos and stuff. Somebody goes,
it was
hand you the mic and go, you do compare.
Well, there was a lot of times where I was hideously drunk.
Right.
Because I'd be working all week, and then it would be on a Saturday, so I'd be working 6 days, maybe 7 days. And then, so whenever it was comedy club time, it was almost like a night out. Because everybody was coming in, everybody was in great form, everybody was painting away.
Nice and relaxed.
And I'd be hitting the Grey Goose. And, you know, Darren would say, do you want to intro me on as the MC? I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? Half cut, you know. And then I
tried that drunk on stage. It didn't work for me terribly well.
I mean, I don't know if it worked for me or not, but I just still did it. So yeah, I ended up sort of doing that kind of thing, and then just, you know, gradually there was maybe a time where somebody couldn't MC or whatever, and then there was wee bits here and there. Right. And it's sort of. You know, so again, there was never an agenda.
So you weren't like a student of comedy, desperate to get on stage. No. This is my entire life. I want to do this. You just kind of literally fell into it. And, but you're obviously naturally funny. So you didn't sit there and write material then, obviously.
No. All the stories are true.
Right.
So I was born and reared in a bar.
Right.
You know, and working in shops and stuff. So you're coming across people all the time, and you meet these
born
characters.
And reared in a bar.
Pretty much. Whenever I was 10, Daddy and his brother bought a bar. So I would have been working on it from...
It's still going, is it?
No. It's gone a long time ago now. I was back in 1992.
1992?
Right. Yeah.
Wow. What did you...
43 this year.
Oh,
See, I remember 1992.
Yeah,
so do I.
I
was pulling pints. What were you doing in 1992?
I think we were lawyers, weren't we? We were lawyers.
We were lawyering.
Yeah, we were being lawyers.
Okay.
I was Wouldn't have been
but I was
happening.
much funnier in court. Much funnier.
Okay.
I was eliminating religious discrimination in employment.
Okay.
Which I did very well.
Yeah.
And then sex discrimination in employment.
What was your specialty?
I was doing religious discrimination as well, and then he fucked off to sex. He did sex. He sort of did sex discrimination.
He did sex.
Did you not know?
He did do sex.
Yeah, I did do sex. I used to know. January used to be an expert on sexual harassment and maternity rights and things.
Right? Do the two go hand in hand?
Well, no,
I did raw.
You do what?
Did raw.
Oh, you were a raw man, were you? In a good way.
No, I did do the Sex Discrimination Act and equal pay and all that.
So you are all Bob Mortimers, essentially, then?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
All right,
but
okay.
Bob did tenancy rates and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, he was bored.
Boring.
So the Troubles were still full on, you see, in 1992.
Oh, I know.
So, I mean, that was kind of,
Yeah.
you know, that was part of the whole, like,
So how did you square the circle then, you know, with your professional lives and this?
We had to go full time eventually because
Right.
we were doing gigs around the country and had a radio show that went very well, Perforated Ulster, and then which is still going.
And there was a kind of view that like, hang on, this is my lord, but he's a comedian.
Yeah.
There was a bit of that going on.
Yeah, there was a bit of
Yeah.
that. Well, he's fucking taking my case.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
Did you ever have any real kickback off that? Like, you know.
Not any nasty stuff, you know, but
No.
I did genuinely have a couple of people. I was in the Equal Opportunities Commission, and one person refused to take me seriously.
Is that right?
He said, "Yeah, it's no."
because you as a comedian.
Yes, I saw him in the group theatre last week. He was pretending to be in Paisley. He's going to get me money. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose the people that get it, and the people that don't, you know.
Yeah, most
but
people
big moves there.
But, yeah, no, well, we were lucky because Equal Opportunities Commission kind of quasi civil service. So we were able to take. I was able to take a career break and go. If it all went belly up, we could have crawled back and
Nice.
could still go back. Be a lawyer, could we?
Uh,
Probably not.
Technically speaking, no.
Technically you can,
When
you
you're a
can.
solicitor, it's like being made a priest. You know, once you're made one, you are one. Then you're made a barrister.
Yeah,
you
you could
will
technically
die a
yeah.
solicitor
Exactly.
unless you're
Die a
struck off
solicitor.
for some reason or other.
Alright.
Because your name's entered on the roll.
So you're a made man
Yeah.
as such.
I'm a made
Unless
man.
you're defrocked for some reason or other.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Can
can't
you-
be bought. You can't be thrown out.
Don't take any legal advice from me, Lianne. Ever.
Ever?
Because I did when I left
I'm
law.
insured.
When I left law, I says I will never ever be back in a court unless I'm in the dock.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless I'm the accused, and I've managed to avoid the dock for
Do you know-
about 25 odd years.
So you don't miss it then, no?
No, I don't think it was
No.
kind of. Yeah,
It was at the time. Funny enough. Well, I'm going to be very boring. But at the time with the bar,
twice now.
the way the bar,
You-
yeah,
you
it's, well,
sell the
it's
show.
usually.
Do you want to use the cake as a demonstrator?
Our cake metaphor.
Is this about the Spartans or?
need any props?
All right,
Do you need
all
any
right. Do you know, I'm not even going to mention that. Right? Just you carry on.
Have a bun there. They're delicious.
Oh, don't be huffing now.
Don't,
Okay. No, the thing about it was, and it's very different. And had it been that way, I probably would have stayed. But at the time in the bar, you didn't get paid. You didn't. You had
As a
to wait
barrister.
as a barrister. So you do all this work, and you were doing. And I was actually people going, "Oh, you're a barrister. I'm like, yeah, it must be loaded." And I'm going, "I'm actually earning less money than the dole." That's how bad it was. I mean, you're just going, "I'm broke. I have
Poor
absolutely no
barristers.
money."
Do you believe
No,
that?
no. It's totally.
you believe a word of that?
No, it's totally changed because now what happens is you just have to wait for the solicitor to pay, and they never pay. Well, no, some did, but a lot of them didn't. And
Excuse me, anytime I employed
yeah,
you,
you paid me, but most people didn't. A lot of them didn't. But what happens now is it goes directly to you. So had I been there at this stage, had I not only been 20 now, I definitely would have stayed as a barrister.
So it's not that you didn't get paid, you just had to wait on it.
You had to wait a long
All
time.
right, that's terrible.
I was getting.
That's exactly the same as voluntary work.
I'm in bits here.
There is a bit of similarity between stand up and appearing in court.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
It's all performance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it was but I mean, I was getting like when I went to the Fair Employment Commission, like 4 years later, I was getting checks. You're going, fuck's sake, lads.
Yeah.
4 years later, like
From work you'd done for.
from working done 4 years before.
What's a check?
What is a check?
Check.
I know.
Shut up.
Checks.
Yeah, on
Jokes,
paper.
Joking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly's son posted a letter for me the other day,
A letter?
and he posted the letter, and then he came to me and said, "I don't think I've ever posted a letter before." And I said, "What?" What?
But the price of stamps these days.
I
is
know,
so many.
I know.
So you've never seen a check?
Of course I have.
I
was-
Say the
It's
Slovak Republic.
43.
Yeah, no, I thought I was going to
Checks.
read it. All right.
Oh, God
Jesus,
almighty.
You don't get this highbrow humour
Write this
with
down.
Shane.
This
you know?
is
Yeah.
no, this is very highbrow.
This is very highbrow, yeah.
compared to Shane.
Yeah. This way you're up. Yes, you're upstairs. You said this way you're up. You know, you
Yeah.
start the pinnacle
This
of
is,
Elevated.
why, this is
Yeah.
why I have to drink out of his mug and he doesn't have to drink out of my mug. You know, it's highbrow.
That's the most sexual thing I've ever heard. get that cake
Stop that,
involved.
you filthy mind.
I'll
you
never
have.
leave.
Abstain out of this.
Yeah.
So tell us about the lesbians of South Armagh. How they're getting on?
Jesus.
How are they? The lesbians of South Armagh.
They're flat out. They're playing camogie. They're playing camogie.
Are they allowed
Yeah.
skirts or skirts?
Yeah, I know. That's mad, isn't it?
What's it? No, I just read that sort of headline score. What's the issue?
The GA want them to wear sort of skirty things called skirts,
Yeah.
which are like shorts but with a skirt
Over the
it.
top of it, yeah.
And the women would like to just wear shorts like normal sports people.
Yeah.
Like ordinary athletes do, like women athletes do, you know?
Some bizarre issue, yeah.
Yeah, there's an issue there for some reason. I don't know. Camogie and the GA wouldn't be my field of reference.
No, I was only slightly taking the piss there because we're talking about the Equality Act and stuff like that. You are of an age where you probably still remember Save Ulster from Sodomy and the DUP and
Not
all
old.
of that.
Not that in the 80s.
43.
Well, 43, yeah. But I mean, you know.
We had all of that. You see,
Yeah.
we
Sodomy wasn't really in my wheelhouse. It still isn't.
Yeah, I get that. That was 1982, Tim, by the way.
Well,
I was born in
Save Ulster.
1982.
you were born in 90.
Not as a result of sodomy either.
Sodomy is not in my wheelhouse. Really.
Yeah, write that down. These are lawyers, aren't you?
God.
Yeah.
No, but there was still we remember all that. So it was 1981. Was Jeffrey Dudgeon's case.
That's right. That's
famous case taken,
Yeah.
European human rights, and after finally homosexuality was legalised here in
82?
82, was
Yeah.
it?
Begrudgingly.
Begrudging. But there's still a lot of people not very happy about it.
Well, obviously not.
Not anymore.
It's a
Those days
filthy
are
activity.
long. Those days are long gone, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they are. Like, there's nothing, especially culties, actually. There's nothing people love more now than having a queer in the family.
A gay, yeah.
They love it. Oh, sure, it's great.
The only gay in the village is gone, is it?
Oh, that's, there's one in every house, and
Yeah.
they'll talk about it very open. Like, my granny called me funny peculiar for years,
Right.
behind my back, i.e. not behind my back. But now it's like, our Margaret's son, he's gay.
It's like having a priest.
Yeah.
I think my mother's in the old days. I have a priest in the family.
I've got a gay in the family now. Yeah.
Him and his boyfriend called to see me, and I'm like, oh. So things have moved on massively. Like, but again, there's obviously, there's issues everywhere. People have their opinions, and that's fine.
But there has been a pride march in Uri.
There have been several. There've been a
pride march in Larne.
That's brilliant.
Imagine being
Is that
proud. of
an
Larne.
oxymoron?
How could you be proud of Lauren? Yeah.
Surely the guys would brighten that place up.
Can't have too bright.
sexist.
Don't want too bright now. Come on, you have to keep it sort of stoic in some way. Because I'm not a proud person.
You're
Again,
not a proud
the Catholic guilt.
You see,
You know,
you're not out and proud. You're kind
you
of
have to
just
hide
leave me
your
alone.
light under a bushel, or
Right.
in this case, hide your bush under a bushel. Let's not get that out too much.
Yeah.
So you're not loud and proud. You're not a joiner in things. Is that what you're saying?
I don't join in anything.
Yes, that's what I mean. So
I have an aversion to all forms of celebration,
Right.
and all forms of
Yes.
fun.
Right.
I observe. I support you. Are you enjoying yourself? That's great. Do I want
Yes.
to be involved? No.
It's
I'm
like
grand.
what W.C. Fields said. I would never want to be a member of a club that would have me as a member.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That sums it up very well.
Yeah.
No, I just let everybody tear away, and I'll just stay.
Yeah.
I'll stay humble.
Eating toasties.
Stay humble in my lesbianism. Imagine a humble lesbian. That's that. There's a screenplay in that.
The humble lesbian. Yeah, it's a good team.
The humble lesbian doesn't wear regatta clothes and just stuff out a little instead for their hiking activities. Lesbians love to hike.
Do you
Not
know?
me. Yeah, they
Well,
love
you
it.
hiked up those stairs.
I don't know. I did. I'm
weren't
afraid
very
to go
happy
down
about
the
it.
weekend. They love a bit of hiking.
Right.
Good bit of functional clothing too.
Oh,
You know?
right. Functional, proper,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sensible.
sensible.
Wearers of comfortable shoes.
It was true that when they brought the law out criminalising homosexuality. This is back in the Victorian times.
Mm-hmm.
It was only illegal for men to have sex with men because Queen Victoria, when she was asked, "Oh, what about the women that are at it, like with each other?" Like as she said, women wouldn't do that sort of thing.
And she's
So that's why
and
the
she's
law
deadly
wasn't-
right.
And that's why the law wasn't passed.
Do you not know what lesbian sex is? Drinking red wine and talking about how much you hate men
Right. Okay.
for 40 minutes and then you go to sleep. done.
Yeah, but that
Why do I get the feeling you've had a lot of lesbian sex in your life?
What? Sorry, what? That should be illegal.
Should be.
Should be. You do not just comedy. You do counselling as well.
We're not really allowed to talk about that.
Oh, good. Okay, so
Because
I'm glad I stuck my foot in it. Because I do
that's
that all
fine.
the time.
No,
Okay.
it's fine.
You're not allowed to talk about it.
See, you sort of brought up something there about, I suppose, what would come under the remit of professional suitability, where it's hard for people to square the circle between the law profession and comedy.
Yeah.
So, there was a wee sort of, if, I'm studying counselling at the minute and will hopefully be graduating now in August. So there was a wee question in the institution that I was learning in that will remain nameless.
Okay.
That, is there an issue around, suitability here because this woman is talking about... myself and Darren did a podcast, right? And we only did 3 episodes of it because of this issue. And there was a concern raised, and it was pointed out to me that we had made references to body image, sexual orientation, right? Which, to put the tin hat on it, I called myself a fat queer or something like that, right? Which is not untrue, and it's also quite funny. And we'd also talked about people from other cultures, right? So this is all written in an email to me. I had spied a busload of Chinese tourists who'd pulled up outside the canal court in Newry and were taking photographs of the canal, the very canal, perhaps, that your posters went into.
Yes.
And I had made the remark, like, what a dreadful holiday. If that was the pinnacle of it, that you were taking photographs beside Newry Canal, so not really aping, the Asian community, just aping Newry, but it didn't go down well. And there was a wee if over, is this appropriate? How do you square that circle between being a professional person and being
But you're a professional.
a mouthpiece online,
But you're a professional. You weren't going to go on stage and go, you'll never guess who was in today.
Yeah, where do you hear?
Where do you hear his problems?
Yeah. But obviously, but I suppose everybody has to, protect the integrity of their institution and their industry. But, as you say,
right.
It wouldn't be appropriate to get on stage and say, did you hear that Sally Ann and the husband are splitting up? Hilarious. She was crying for 50 minutes.
He doesn't deserve her.
Yeah, he's riding somebody else across the field.
The sanctity of the confession box.
Exactly.
Yes, you see.
Yeah. So
are you concentrating on comedy then? Is comedy going to be your career? Are you going to make a living at comedy? Is comedy going to be...
I don't know.
Just giving it a go and are you enjoying yourself?
I am enjoying it, yeah. I definitely am.
It is a release.
But you could go back to making fries.
No, never again. There's too much controversy over what constitutes a fry. For a start,
right?
Your perception. I would say
counties.
your perception of a fry is vastly different to mine.
Yes.
Because you're a Presbyterian.
That's right.
It's just an empty plate.
He's
Sadness.
a vegetarian as well.
Yeah, I know.
you?
That'd be a real nightmare. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So you'd be a man for a flat cap mushroom then, would you?
Oh yeah.
Oh aye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You against a flat cap mushroom?
I'm not, but just Nick, not a fry,
See, the Free State don't give you bread, don't do.
They give you nothing.
That's
They give you
really
soda
wick.
bread
They
or
don't do potato bread. Yeah.
And they want to be united with us, and they won't even give you a bit of bread and a fry.
And they do this horrible. What are those horrible things? Those potato-y things.
Boxty.
No, not boxty. It's fried up. It's like a hash brown. Yeah. What the fuck's that? Like, it's horrible.
Sort of oniony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not averse to
Breakfast.
hash brown, to be fair, but I don't think it belongs in a fry, especially
belong in a fry.
in a traditional sense.
No.
But they don't even know. It's not even that they won't give you the bread in the Free State. They don't know what it is.
They don't know what
They
it is.
don't
They don't know
Yeah,
what potato
asking
bread
for
or
soda.
bread.
What are you talking about? What are you on about? What's happening?
Partition has worked, hasn't it?
I know. It's sad, but
We
one
are
day
two
we'll
different-
all be eating soda bread together.
We are two. We are two different jurisdictions.
Exactly. So no, I don't think I'd
Tell the
ever go
people
back
of
to
South
that.
Armagh.
That's what they fought in South Armagh for. The right
Soda?
to all eat soda bread.
Yeah, I think we can all agree there was a lot of soda bread in South Armagh. It's all good. That's a horrible term, by the way, South Armagh. I hate it
Why?
because it's horrible. It's
South Armagh.
It's wielded. It's a term that's wielded.
Oh, you mean it's used as a pejorative?
It's accusatory.
Really?
It was a Merlin Reese, Bandit Country, that
Bandit
whole
country.
thing.
Yeah, it's
South
kind of
Armagh,
used as
you know.
yes, and it's now red
Yeah.
diesel and
Yeah, well, like that's what you said. Oh, you raw. You know, South Armagh, so it's either raw, farming, or washing diesel.
Right.
You know, and I don't do any of those things.
Right.
You know, strangely. No farming, no anything
farming?
like that. I wouldn't even know where to start.
South Armagh's beautiful as well.
It is beautiful. It doesn't mean I want to run around after little cows. You know, have you ever been to South Armagh? Have you ever actually been to South Armagh?
I have been to South Armagh. I
Right.
have a brother-in-law from Crossmaglen.
Because that's the only part there is. That's South Armagh.
I'm sorry, he's from
Crossmaglen.
Crossmaglen. I'll tell him to move.
Tell him to move. Tell him to move to somewhere like Fork Hill
Jonesborough.
or White Cross.
Where's Jonesborough?
There's others lesser spotted South Armagh. You see,
Lesser spotted, yeah.
lesser spotted South Armagh.
Right.
Yeah, you should do a show about that.
Crossmaglen's the best
fun.
bit, though, isn't it?
Is it I?
It was always a bit in the news.
I don't know.
It was always Crossmaglen, wasn't it?
I don't know. Ask the Brits. I have no idea. But there's other lovely places as well.
Yeah.
But it's a very beautiful part of the world.
Right.
Very beautiful.
It
part of
is.
the world.
And
Yeah,
they're-
especially
they're-
on a day like this.
They're having a very good time. They won the All-Ireland there last year, didn't
They did, and they
Very-
got beat in the Ulster final there the other day.
Oh, right. Is that...
Yeah. So
I
Donegal.
don't really do GAA. Does that mean they're out of the All-Ireland then?
No, there's the back door.
Oh, hey. There's the back door to the
Back door
All-Ireland.
shenanigans.
Right.
Yeah, you can.
The back door to an All-Ireland. Somebody should think about it.
You can bomb your way in All Ireland now.
You can't bomb your way in, but you can bum
Nobody
your
can
way
bomb
in.
your way in. Yeah.
Can you? I didn't know how this works. I thought
I
if you
don't know.
lost...
What are you asking me?
Well, you're from Armagh. You're interested. You're GAA. You're not sporty at all.
I'm 19 and a half stone. What sport do you think I engage in?
60, I go and watch Cliftonville Jump and think I'll go and bring my boots because I might
Yeah,
play.
you could ask to be in the comedian's box, and I didn't. You know, I can't put my jukes up for any length of time. No, I wouldn't.
You
be
don't like sport.
Oh no, I do. I do like sport. I wouldn't be a GAA person.
Right.
I wouldn't be
Okay.
a GAA. There's no culture in my house at all, apart from bacteria.
Because I saw a video of you kicking a ball over. Trying to
You
kick a
did
ball.
actually.
I
You're
did.
a creepy weirdo. How do you know these things?
Oh. Or it's called doing research for the podcast.
Right, okay. What else did you find out?
I watched a long interview with you with a fella from Newry. Kind of serious interview.
Gino Lynch?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know Gino Lynch. Is he famous?
He
down
actually
there?
prepares for these things. He's the only one.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I thought I might.
There's a slightly Castlereagh aspect to this. So I'm getting a wee bit nervous here.
No, you're all right.
Yes, there's a Thomas Davis are having a big music fest at the end of this month, the end of May. So yes, they asked me would you do a wee video, McCooey? And I was like, no problem. I thought it would just be me going, come to Thomas Davis and see the tumbling patties and blah 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 blah. And he was like, well, what we want you to do is want you to come onto the pitch and we want you to fire a point over the bar. And I was like, no. But then I relented.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll go for it. I didn't cover myself in glory at all.
Did you not?
Not
Did
at all.
I think you missed.
Oh, I did. I missed.
You
yes,
missed,
yes,
okay,
I missed.
that's all right.
But that was the whole point. That was the whole point.
Oh,
was
was
to
that or
miss.
it's a deliberate
Yeah.
miss? Ah, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
for a
right.
bit of
Yeah.
bit of hilarity.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, kick on my left foot, incidentally.
Did
Yeah.
you? I'm a left foot. I did recreate the famous 1979 Tony Bell goal when Cliftonville won the Irish Cup.
Did you? How'd you
1970.
do that?
For a video for the IFA when
Right, okay.
we were in the final against Coleraine.
I'm sure they're really
I was very
pressed to tell a difference.
No, it was really good. I was very excited. Scored a goal at Solitude. You know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, then we lost the final. So.
Scoring a goal at solitude sounds like a metaphor for masturbation.
Okay.
Cross the line. Take your buns and your cake. Take your buns and your crappy cake and get the back
outta
to
here.
South Armagh.
Get outta
Don't
here.
insult Solitude.
Don't take that masturbating lesbian back down the road.
It's not going to be solitude
Scored a
anymore,
goal
though.
of Solitude. What?
It's not going to be solitude.
It is.
anymore.
It's always going to be
Is it not
Solitude.
changing name?
It's called Solitude because it's at the top of Cliftonville Road. Do you know why it's called Solitude?
No.
Because in the 1700s, when Belfast was just a wee small village, this was a farm outside Belfast, and it was literally on its own. So it was named Solitude in the late 1700s.
My God.
So technically, is solitude like a culty home ground?
Well, it's now
culture,
in
right?
North Belfast, in the middle of the Cliftonville Road. But yeah,
But
that's
originally?
originally the ground was called Solitude, and it's a great name for a football ground.
I'm sorry if I've sullied it for you now.
Yep.
Is it? But is the name not changing? You got some sponsorship deal?
No, we have. No, that was a joke.
That's
We've
what,
got the
is
Canadians.
Windsor not changing its name?
The Windsor is the clearer twist.
Oh, they're not. So the Canadian sponsors aren't making you change your name?
No, well, not as far as I know.
You sure?
Yeah, better not. No, they're not. They're not going to do that to us.
So this is obviously an in-joke.
I'm
just going to nod politely.
Anyway, we were talking at the very start before we. You were on the BBC when you were 5 years old. Took us to we were. We had to go to Newry and do a gig, and then in their late 20s. You were 5 years old. You were already on the BBC.
5 years old in Broadcasting House, I do believe.
In Broadcasting House,
yeah,
because you've written a super story. Have you got it with you?
Do you know what? I don't.
You don't.
But
what was the crux of it?
Something about.
Was it smut about solitude? Was it?
No. That's. I'm not even going to. I'm not.
Come on, yeah.
I'm seeing this as one massive, audition for the Blame Game. So I'm trying.
Yeah,
this is
ahead.
me on my best behaviour. I wrote a poem about raining bricks. It was raining bricks, which I suppose in like 1988, 87, 88, South Armagh. It could have been. Maybe I saw it on the television. Right. I don't know. And
yes, there was a lot of rain and bricks in them days.
There would have been. And yeah, so something about rain and bricks, and I built a sand pit with the bricks. I don't know what crude imagery was going on in my little strange brain at that stage. But anyway,
Wendy Austin.
It sounds very magical realist.
Absolutely, very abstract. Yeah. It was Wendy Austin. Yeah, so anyway, won this competition was one potato, two potato. That the teacher used to put on in the classroom to shut us up for, I'd imagine, for half an hour, and we just used to sit there and listen, all 12 of us in the class. And we I won because I'm a literary genius. Right. And got invited. And I was actually quite miffed. There was like 3 other children there from I don't know where. I was like, surely it was I who won. And we got to go and meet. It was Michael McDougal.
Yes,
but who was one of the presenters, but it wasn't Wendy Austin that presented. It was another lady, and I can't remember her name, but she wasn't there that day to meet us, the winners, and Wendy Austin was there instead.
Wendy. Well,
yeah, that was
a big deal.
Michael McDougal was the one potato, two potato man.
He was indeed.
And you started with us writing in the BBC.
Yeah.
Used to be a lot of confusion.
There was
with the contracts.
There was. Funny enough, checks came in again.
Checks again. Checks out.
Let's get checks.
But you used to get his checks.
I used to.
Did you ever say them?
Two potato
what? No, I didn't.
Just got them cashed.
I just got them cashed. Good stuff.
You didn't have to wait in that money.
I didn't have to wait in that money.
If the other Michael McDougal's out there, he owes you money from years ago.
He'd be waiting on.
Yeah, he was
about like South Armagh. Is there a North Armagh? And what's in it?
Protestants. I don't know. Yeah, there is a North Armagh.
Armagh's in it.
Exactly. That's my point. You don't hear of East Armagh or West Armagh.
Armagh's in North Armagh, isn't it?
The city.
The city of Armagh.
I feel like I'm glitching here. I suppose.
You say West Belfast, so I get the same reaction.
Yeah.
When I say West Belfast, I go,
so there's very few places in the north that have that same connotation. So it's West Belfast, South Armagh, I suppose East Belfast, and what maybe I know South Tyrone. Maybe would that be?
Yeah.
So it is. It's a bit. It's like a daub on us.
It's an easy joke, isn't it?
It is an easy joke. It's low hanging fruit, which is my tender name. But I got to meet Wendy Austin and it was all good, and got to press the buttons on the pedestrian crossing.
And the people of South Armagh going, let's go.
Oh yeah, there was
on the radio.
Yeah, there was a boss.
We know a fella who could probably dig that out for you. Do you know Wendy could probably dig that out?
He probably could, actually.
We could dig that out.
You never mind with Wendy, right?
Wendy.
That's it.
Wendy is the guy we know in the BBC who does the archive stuff.
Yeah, no, let him sit. Let him play in the archives. Tell him to stay away from me. I'm no interest in this being unearthed.
No,
there's not even. We'd
like to get it unearthed. You see, we want to. We want to. Tim's doing his research.
We could get unearthed that for you and see if we.
Bring Wendy Austin in. We'll talk about it.
Wendy Austin used to. Apparently, one of the things she did was I remember talking to her, and she used to park her car outside the BBC, and she worked out it was cheaper to get a ticket than pay the parking. So you should just get a ticket.
Smart woman. That's why she's doing the business stuff then.
Because at that time I think it was like 10 quid, and she worked at the Pen and Park and was actually more expensive.
Right. So you're accusing Wendy Austin of being
I'm just saying. A serial criminal.
parking fiend.
Or she's just a very...
I'm just saying. A serial criminal. Serial offender. Yeah.
I'm not sure it's a crime. It's just an offence.
Maybe she just made the law work for her.
Yeah. Wendy, he's accusing you, not me.
You're doing a tour later on called the Muffin Walloper.
Muffin
more
Walloper.
research. Snipers, I was up all night.
You were hammering away.
Muffin.
That's good. That's good. Like that.
I don't like Presbyterians.
We like that. We like the smut.
Is it all smut or is there going to be?
See, it depends on what your interpretation of Muffin Walloper is.
Yes.
But a Muffin Walloper...
It could be interpreted in a
well,
way.
So be a baking activity.
Let her tell.
Yeah, you could expect fat jokes.
Right.
You could expect lesbian jokes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably about it. But a Muffin Walloper is, I think it is actually a Victorian term. And a Muffin Walloper is a lady, generally an unmarried lady, who sits in tea houses and gossips about, with other ladies about issues of the day.
And are muffins involved?
Well, I would assume so.
Yeah, right.
But that's what the term is. So it was suggested to me by a friend of mine. I use the term loosely, and she said Muffin Walloper, and I was like, I took it as a fat joke, slight, and I was like, gay. And then I looked. She was like, "No, this is what it means." And I was like, "That's actually quite interesting because then you can,
it's kind of quirky and different, and
I got
all sorts of interpretations.
So I got a wee bit.
That's going to be rude.
I got a wee bit drunk one night, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go with this, and I made up a wee graphic, like a tour poster, and sort of put it out there as a wee teaser, and people were like, "Oh, that's hilarious," and Muffin Walloper, you fat fucker, whatever. And so I've sort of committed to it now. So I booked dailies, Connor Keys.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, that's a great spot.
Booked dailies because I've gigged there before, and it's all like touch wood, it's always went well. But I think it's an easier sell for me to do like more culty areas.
You're right. I'm saying.
More rural crowd.
Suave city slickers don't like.
Yeah, they don't understand my vernacular.
But you've done gigs all over. You do Laveries and stuff, haven't you?
I've done Laveries a couple of times. Yeah.
Empire.
So thankfully it's gone all right. No, never done the Empire.
Never done the Empire.
Never done the Empire. But yeah, I would struggle. Not struggle a wee bit more in Belfast, but you generally, it goes better in culty regions.
And have you done the thing that I did, where you book the show and then go, "Look, I better write this"? Have you written it?
100%.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So there'll be pressures for tires and also for ad hoc comedy shows. But no, like as I say, because the stories are genuine, because they're real stories, they're all in here. So you don't maybe embellish a wee bit or amp stuff up a wee bit.
But you don't sit down and write it all down and go from A to B to C, or do you have 6 or 7 punchlines? I know where the joke is.
No, and maybe you can help me with that, because I don't have. There's a lot of stories that I could tell, and the story itself is funny because the situation is funny or the person involved is funny, And if you tell it, in a certain way, it can be funny, but there's no
punchline at the end.
There's no out. It's just a funny situation, And I suppose I feel a wee bit. I feel a wee bit, disingenuous if I create a punchline, or a wee bit.
That's a bit artificial.
Yeah, and then I'm like, am I really thinking about this too much?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you are. No, there is. I mean, when you tell a story, good storytellers will be hilarious, and Billy Connolly famously, told a joke that took half an hour, and there was a joke at the end, but it was that you enjoyed the journey along the way.
Yeah, but
you'll have jokes during the story, won't you?
Oh, of course, yeah. So I suppose it's just trying to tie them together with some sort of a loose narrative or loose, like the Bible.
Very much like the Bible. Muffin Walloper would be very much like the Bible.
A canonical text for the ages.
Thou shalt not Muffin Wallop.
Thou shalt, well, I would love the chance to the Muffin Wallop at the minute. It's too warm. Do you know what? That'd be a nice wee neat tie in there, Bun Walloper. Doesn't sound as good. Save Ulster from Bun Walloper.
Lianne McCooey, you're a filthy mouth on you. You have a filthy.
A wee bit. Yeah. This is me on my best behaviour. I'm not.
I know. That's what because you're with. You're not on Shane Todd now. You can't get away with that nonsense.
If I was on Shane Todd, that'd be the end of Shane Todd.
Yep.
Think about it. Think about the physics. Shane dead.
Well, I can't even look at that.
He's got a 6-pack. All right.
It'd just be a 1-pack.
No wonder he's working out. Anyway, Lianne, absolute pleasure. Thank you very, very much. The very, very best of luck with everything you do. I will see you soon. I'm coming down to your neck of the woods in August or something. Or
July.
Coming down to see you. Yeah. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Yeah, thank you.
And best of luck with Muffin Walloper and
Appreciate
all
it.
the gigs and all the whatever else you're at.
Feel free to come along.
I will.
If I
100% will.
If I decide to go into Belfast,
Do you know what? Will you come to the
along.
big city? Will you come?
Mate, the sunflower could be on the horizon. If Darren might be able to pull a few strings and get me into the sunflower, but
okay.
So there'll be.
There's loads of gigs everywhere now.
Yeah, even though we are not going to give me guest list for your Mandela Hall thing, I will give you guest list for my.
Well, ours will
mine.
sell out. You see.
Yeah, well, do you know what? Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
We can squeeze it at the back.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Only slag. An absolute pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Lianne McCooey, thank you very much. Thank you. That's it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick reminder that tickets are available for the Give My Head podcast live in the Mandela Hall on the 12th of October. Get your tickets now. Links down below. Like and subscribe. We've had loads of different comedians and actors and writers and politicians and everything. If you want, you can catch up on all the episodes online. And we'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Lianne.